full screen. My little screen. How is everyone doing? Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Amelia, Mason, Christina, Anna Marie, Vincent. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi. What's up? Any good news? Any news?
There was a link to the book,
Is it
but I still couldn't access like the actual textbook.
okay? Hold on. So I just uploaded a PDF because it's probably me. I'm going to take the blame for the whole mess. But you have no idea how many calls I have made to the publishers, and they sent me some document for the wrong course, 128B. But I'm guessing that it's the same book, so it should work. I uploaded something on Canvas under miscellaneous. Hold on just a second. If you go to Canvas, if you look under, you don't have to do it right now. If you go under miscellaneous, there is a flyer. Okay. If you open the flyer, it's opening, it's spinning. I also have the flyer somewhere else. Oh man, it's really slow. Hold on, let me just pull the flyer up from a different source. Miscellaneous, and this is the. I'm going to share the screen for a second. It's this. This is what it looks like. Find your course, go to Wiley Plus, blah, 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 and step 2, register and get across the course materials. So if you have paid for it, I am assuming that you will be able to get to that. Please don't do it right now. Okay. I'm urging you not to do it right now. Let the lecture get over. Okay. Once the lecture is over, then you guys can try it. Give me feedback immediately after you try it. So once we hang up like 1:45, try it if you have time. And then after that, give me some feedback if it's working or not. I'm assuming it's going to work for those who have purchased the book because you should be able to register. So let's try that. If it doesn't work, I'm at it. I'm not going to let them go without solving the problem. They also sent me some codes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to share it with the whole class or only with those of you who have purchased the immediate access ebook. So hopefully it will be sorted out soon, and hopefully you guys haven't suffered too much from not having the book, because you know that my lectures are pretty sufficient. That's not an excuse. I'm not coming up with an excuse. I'm undertaking the responsibility, and hopefully you guys will be fine at the end of the day, end of the course. How are you guys doing? Hi, Christina. Hi, Stephanie, Cassandra, Mason. Those of you who have your screens on. It's 12:31. Let's go and let's discuss. Let's start talking about some chemistry. Harjivan, Annie, Brenda, Shasim. I don't know if I'm butchering your name. Manuel, Ariana, Emilio, Brandon, Jacqueline, Miles. I'm adding an A at the end of the name. Joel, now call up the rest of them. Georgiana. Okay, let's talk about some chemistry. Um, Georgiana, very briefly, we talked about the book. After this class is over, go to Canvas, go under the module that says miscellaneous. There is a PDF file, follow the file and see if it works. If it doesn't work, give me immediate feedback, and I will share some codes, and that might do the magic. I'm sorry again. I'm not going to apologize. Keep apologizing, but then hopefully it will work soon. Okay, all right. Let's go to the board. think it's looking good. So good afternoon, everyone. I don't think anyone is in the other side of the world. No one is. I mean, I know that there is one. Christina, I have a question for you. This has something to do with. It's something completely unrelated. What's your major, Christina?
Biochemistry.
Biochemistry, and you are an international student, right?
Yeah.
Are you graduating soon?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, you have a long way to go. Because there was an award for an international student who is a biochemistry, BA major. It's only applicable to those who are graduating soon. This cycle. So okay, sorry. Maybe 2 years from now we can nominate you. So is there any other international students in this class?
Me.
Harpreet?
Yeah.
And you, I'm assuming you have at least a year to go, right?
I have like a year and a half.
Okay, okay. Sorry, you can't get an award.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding. Christina and Harpreet, sorry. None of you can get an award. Okay. All right, sounds good. So let's get started. If there is too much glare, I don't think so, but if there is glare, let me know. All right, we are talking about cycloalkanes, and what day is today? 3/4/21. We are talking about cycloalkanes and having fun with chair, right? So we are talking about cycloalkanes. Okay? And we are talking about cyclohexane. We are talking about its chair conformation. And we're just having fun with that. I'm having fun. I don't know what you guys. Any comments or any feedback? You can give me anonymous feedback. You can slip a note under my door. Science 1 246. I mean, are you guys comfortable with my teaching style? Any harsh critic or any harsh feedback, or like I am the most horrible instructor, whatever? I don't want to hear praiseworthy words. You can tell me if there is something that I can improve. Anything? Are you okay? Not terrible, not horrible, or not could be better? Any constructive feedback? Seriously. Do I look like a monster that I'm going to eat you?
For me, it's perfect.
Sorry?
Like for me, it's good. Like
Okay.
the way that you do it. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Again, it doesn't. I'm not looking for praise. No one praises me. Usually, I get criticized all the time. At home, my mother did that because I'm a terrible person. That's why. So I screw things up all the time. Seriously, jokes apart. Any other feedback? The font sizes are too small. I'm using colors that are not useful. But if the colors are useful in the still picture, then it's worth it. It doesn't matter if you cannot distinguish between the purple and the blue in the video. That's fine. But if the still picture is still giving you a little more clarity, then it's worth it. So I'm going to keep doing it, unless you cannot even see the handwriting. Anything else? I speak too fast, I speak too slow. You're bored because you already know the material. The pace is too high, too slow. Any comments? I don't want to spend too much time. Maybe 1 more minute. Nothing to fear. It's not going to affect your grade. Oh, you're going to be taking this course 1 more time if you say anything negative about me. I'm just kidding. Tell me. My hair is too long. I can't solve the problem right now. I'm still too scared to go to the barber, who actually cuts our hair in her backyard, and her dog once bit me. That's too much information for you. But then, I'm just trying to like cut the tension here by giving you like random information. No comments.
I think it would be cool if we got like practice tests.
It'll be cool to actually have access to my book, Dr. Maitra, the book that I paid for like 10 years ago. Practice test? You're asking for too much. What kind of practice test? That's like giving away your test. Why don't you guys do the following? Why don't you guys practice the homework and come and ask me questions about that? We can discuss the homework problems once in a while. Not every day, please, but maybe between 2 weeks, I can spend 15 minutes on that. You need to take the initiative. Why did you guys take the initiative? Work on the homeworks, and we can discuss something in that. I spent 15 minutes in the Chem 8 class just going over some questions that one student had. Then you know how easily I like to address the questions. So if you ask me a question toward the end of a class like today, let's say around 1:30 or 1:25, we can start having a discussion. That could be a practice test. That could be some practice problems. We can do that. Whatever we have discussed, whatever we have studied since test one, I'm also going to open upload a copy of the test one. I'm sorry, it's taking me a long time. I started grading it, then I dozed off on my chair. That's my excuse. I'll try to finish it by tomorrow. It's not going to happen today. I'm done with like only a handful of tests. It's taking a long time. I'm actually thinking about making it a hybrid test for the next test, not the quiz. Like half of it will be multiple choice on Canvas, half will be, or maybe 30% will be free response. It's just killing me. Maybe,
Kind of like the quizzes.
sorry, yeah, I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided.
Okay.
It could be free response. It depends on my mood. I mean, quiz is not that difficult to grade. It's fast, but this test is just a killer. But that's also part of my job, so I shouldn't complain and just do it. All right, let's talk about cyclohexane chair, our favorite cyclohexane. I almost caught it, but then it didn't get touchy. So let's look at the model first very quickly. I'm going to replace the purple that doesn't belong here with the blue. Almost broke it. Okay. Axial hydrogens, equatorial hydrogens. If you flip it, doesn't matter which ends do you hold. You can hold any two corners. That up and this down. This up, this down. That up and this down. So you can flip it this way, or you can flip it this way, down and up, or you can flip it this way, down and up. It really doesn't matter. You can flip the molecule. Actually, in reality, the molecule is always kind of flipping back and forth, and it's like a wave. It's happening all over its periphery. Okay, so let's draw the molecule. Let's draw the molecule one more time. I'm going to draw it exactly like this: left side up, right side down. These are the points on the whiteboard. So if you number it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 1 and 4 are on the whiteboard, and 2 and 3 are out, and 5 and 6 are behind. Okay, so that's in the back. This is in the front. Okay, and 1 and 4 are on the whiteboard. Let's draw the molecule. I don't know if I can raise the chair. No, it's at the highest position. The camera, this camera doesn't show it. I'm trying to see like if I can keep it here and you guys can see the molecule. Can you guys see? Not really well. Here. There you go. You can kind of see the model. Okay. So let's draw the molecule very quickly. Okay. I'm not going to draw it that as big as I drew in the past. So chair. Hydrogens, equatorial hydrogens. Figure out how to draw the chair properly. These are all equatorial. These are all axial. Okay, you flip. I'm going to flip this side first. I'm going to push this side up. Half flip. What happens then? Let's number it also. Let's number like on the whiteboard, out, out, on the whiteboard, in. 6 and 5 are behind, 2 and 3 are out, 1 and 4 are on the whiteboard. 1, I don't know if you can see. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's number it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up, down, down. In this case, this side has flipped up. This is what it looks like. This is looking kind of weird, like being tortured. 3. It's really looking different. I do not expect you to draw the boat conformation. If you draw the boat conformation, as long as you get the main frame of the boat, you're good. Okay, this is the boat. So chair to boat. Then one more flip, push that down. Then it's another chair again with all the blues up and down and the reds in that zone. So let me just draw this guy nicely. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the blues are axial now. The reds are equatorial. Figure out how to draw the molecule properly. I don't want to spend too much time on that. So these guys are equatorial and the blues are axial. Okay, you got that. And this is a happy chair. Move the chair. We don't need the model at this point. So that's important. It's important to know that this is low energy. This is perfect. This is perfect because every carbon in that hexagonal molecule is a perfect tetrahedron.
Professor, you're missing the H for red H on number 6 for the boat.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So this is a perfect tetrahedron, all the carbons. Perfect tetrahedron for a chair. Okay, and this is a perfect tetrahedron. Perfect tetrahedron. Okay, this is funny. All the carbons are perfect tetrahedron. Boat also has all 6 carbons. are perfect tetrahedron. That's the funny part, but both is bad. Both is very bad because of the reasons we discussed in the last class. So for chair, another reason is any two adjacent carbon, they are staggered. Any two adjacent carbons are staggered, which is good. Okay, it's true for this chair and that chair. It doesn't matter which chair. There is a problem here. The problem is carbon 2 and carbon 3, this combination, and carbon 5 and carbon 6 are eclipsed. That's bad. Eclipse is no good. And these two hydrogens I'm not going to draw a line here because that's going to be really bad. So let's say carbon 1 hydrogen and carbon 4 hydrogen. And another comment is from here, carbon 1 and carbon 1 and carbon 4. Carbon 1 and carbon 4 hydrogens two hydrogens are, what's that interaction called? Who remembers? It has something to do with something that every countryman are proud of. It's their, it moves in wind. It starts with an F. Flagpole interaction. So these two guys are having flagpole interaction. Flagpole. Flagpole interaction. And that's also bad. Okay. Our flagpole. Flagpole. I'm just going to write that word. I don't have the patience to write interaction down here. So because of this problem, eclipse and flagpole, both is bad. Chair is good because there is no such thing going on here. Okay. So this was a very fast review and we spent quite a bit of time here, which is fine. This is totally fine. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to block the camera, take a snapshot, and go from there. Chair, axial, equatorial, all staggered, both halfway after when we flip it. If we do both flipping at the two ends simultaneously, then you quickly go to chair, but I did it slowly. So chair, both is bad, high energy, chair is low energy, same energy, but that's a different chair. That's why a cyclohexane molecule has two types of hydrogens. One is up and down, and one is equatorial, up, down, okay? Let's take a look at it. I'll try to keep my mouth shut for like 15 seconds. Okay? All right, so let's analyze a cyclohexane that has a substituent. We'll start with one substituent, then we're going to go to two substituent situation, and we're going to analyze those cyclohexane molecules. So when we have a group on a cyclohexane molecule, let's draw it in 2D and see that it's so innocent and you can't even tell like the intricate details of what the molecule could be offering you, like the complexity of the molecule. So we're going to start with a methyl group. Okay, it's a pretty large group, and it's a very common group found in nature and found in many synthetic molecules that we make for many applications. Okay, it could be medicine development, it could be insecticide, it could be insect repellent, it could be some other probe, some sensor, who knows what. Just for some study that the chemists or physicists or biochemists are doing. Okay. So now let's start talking about substituted cycloalkanes. And we already talked about the names very quickly one more time. So triangle cyclopropane, square cyclobutane, pentagon cyclohentane, hexagon cyclohexane. Okay. Now let's talk about substituted cyclohexanes or substituted cycloalkanes. Let's start with something simple. Let's practice some names, nomenclature. It's not something that really gets me excited, but then we have to do it. You can't always cheat the way I was cheating until I came here as a professor using a program called ChemDraw. I had a really fancy ChemDraw, I still have it. And the program actually names it for you. So whenever we wrote a project in my company, or we published something, or we filed a patent, I would always draw the molecule in ChemDraw, and the ChemDraw would spit out the name. So I got, like how lack of practice really like almost erases or deletes a skill. I almost completely forgot how to name molecules. I had to relearn it when I was teaching. So let's learn something simple. How would you name that? It looks like a Hershey's candy, Hershey's Kiss, or like a little cracker for 4th of July. Some of the crackers in India, which we have during our light festival, Diwali, they look like that. They look different, not exactly like that, from my memories of my childhood. How would you name it? That's a methyl group, by the way. It's not a Hershey's Kiss. What's the name of it? Come on, hurry up. We don't have all the time.
Hershey's
Something.
Kiss.
Hershey's Kiss. Let's get serious. Don't go with your
1-methyl cyclopropane.
Luke. Finally, Luke is coming from his spaceship to rescue the planet. 1-methyl cyclo. What you said, or somebody else can pitch in. Cyclo. What?
Propane.
Propane.
Propane. Yeah, sounds good, but in this case, yeah, 1-methyl cyclopropane. That sounds good. Let's practice another one. Let's see how much you have retained from substituted alkanes. It's taking up a shape of an alien right now, slowly. What should be the name of that? Think before you give me a wrong answer. Just think like 30 seconds. The numbering can be tricky.
2-ethyl 1-methyl cyclopropane.
Oh, you fell in the trap. Who is this? Let's see. I think you're a nice, gullible person, Stephanie. Okay, you said what? 2-ethyl? 2 ethyl, 1 methyl, cyclopropane. Okay, so you're prioritizing, you are giving priority to the ethyl group, then you are giving priority to the methyl group, and you are numbering 1, 2, 3. Anybody wants to cheer or jeer, clap or throw something at Stephanie? We should have like new features in Zoom, like where we can throw like paper balls at each other, or we can do like Zoom bumping. We can crash in some random Zoom meetings and we can just say, hello, my name is Stephanie. How are you guys doing? Then Zoom will automatically kick you out after like 5 seconds. I came up with the idea during a faculty meeting, and some of my colleagues were complaining that we don't see each other. So we forgot how each other we look like. Zoom. Okay, is this correct?
No,
Louder, please. I can't hear you guys.
no, it should be number 2 should be 1 because it has more.
Stephanie, do you see, like, it's a cyclic molecule and there is no, I mean, it doesn't matter if you go clockwise or anti-clockwise. If you're calling ethyl first, why shouldn't you number it number 1 and the other guy number 2, right? So yes, you're right. So this should be 1 ethyl, 2 methyl. So 3, this is wrong numbering. This is correct numbering. Don't do it in the test or in the exam. Okay. All right, sounds good. How about this molecule? That's a window. Come on, you can do it. You have learned it.
One comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 methyl
Methyl. 4.
or
There are 4 of them. How do you say 4?
Tetra.
Tetra. Tetra what?
Butyl.
Tetra what?
Methyl.
No.
Methyl, not methane, methyl. Tetramethyl. Then what's this guy? Cyclo what?
Butane.
Butane. Let's draw a funny molecule and see if you guys can name it. I don't know. That's an alien. I don't know if we should spend like 10 minutes naming that molecule. Maybe that can be homework. It just looks like a cute molecule. It'll be a very cute alien. Why did you guys figure it out? Make it a homework problem. We can discuss it on. This is a practice exam, Amelia. This is a practice problem. Okay. We will talk about it. Somebody bring it up to our notice on Tuesday. Okay, we'll discuss it on Tuesday. So basically, I'm looking for its name. It'll be fun. You know what? It's not going to be fun. Let me change it because it's going to create some problem with this. Yeah, let's change it to a simple foot, like a normal leg. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I just made some change because I just realized that we cannot say di of that group. It's going to be very complicated. Yeah, we'll just keep it simple. Okay. So we will call it cyclopentane and we'll name the groups. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll do it on Tuesday. All right, so that's on the side. Let's say that we're not going to touch it right now. We're going to discuss it later on. It's going to be, let's put it in the cage. Put this alien in the cage. We'll deal with him on Tuesday after the weekend. Okay. So now let's go back to our favorite, our cyclohexane. How do you name it?
One methyl cyclohexane.
The one is kind of redundant because you can put it or you don't have to put it. You can say methyl cyclohexane too. Okay. Now there is a catch. Who can guess that this is going to lead to some discussions? It's not just a simple methyl cyclohexane, and methyl cyclohexane can involve some discussions. While I remove some of the groups from the cyclohexane here. Do you have any idea what I'm going to talk about? What can you, if I say that, write a 5-sentence paragraph about methyl cyclohexane? What's intriguing about methyl cyclohexane? What can you think about? Don't draw anything. See if I'm trying to see like if you can imagine the molecule in 3 dimension and tell me that there is something interesting about this molecule. What can you think about? What comes to your mind when you think in 3D? This is 2D. Any comments? Anything comes to your mind? Is there going to be only one type of methyl cyclohexane, or methyl cyclohexane can stay in 2 different conformations? Any thoughts? I don't have enough blue colors, so I'm going to put black sticks pretending that they're hydrogens. Okay. So all the black plastic attachments are going to be representing a hydrogen for a chain. Usually we don't do that, but I don't have 12. I don't have 12 blue or red plastic sticks. So these are all hydrogens. So imagine that these are hydrogens. Usually I use black to represent methyl group. I'm just making a model of normal cyclohexane. Okay. Methyl cyclohexane, right? They're all the same color. So let's put the groups here. Okay. That's a hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. Not good. Okay. Methyl cyclohexane. Okay. Not methyl cyclohexane, just cyclohexane. Sorry, my bad. Come on. Okay. The one on the top, if I flip it, it looks like the one in the bottom. Not much change. All right, now let's make a methyl group. Let's make a methyl group, and in this case, this is our methyl group, right? 3 hydrogens, that's a methyl group. So let's put a methyl group here. I don't know where. Let's say carbon 1. Okay. Carbon 1, we put a methyl group right here. So it's going to look like this. Something like this. Now that's methyl cyclohexane. Make sense? Carbon 1, carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, 4, 5, 6. And carbon 1, I put the methyl group in the equatorial position. Now I hold 1 and 4 and I flip it. What happened to the methyl group? It went axial. So when I flip it, the methyl group goes axial. Okay, I'm going to kind of cover it in red color so that it kind of shows as a methyl group. That's the methyl group. Okay. One more time. This is axial. When I flip it, it's equatorial. It kind of looks like a little submarine or like a stingray with a tail. Think about it like this. Or it might look like a little kite. I used to fly kites a lot because it's a single sport. I never played a lot with friends other than playing the English cricket or Indian cricket. So this looks like the stingray is being propelled by this propeller, right? It could be like a dream for you might start thinking about. We might get some incentives about building like a submarine that looks like this. I'm sure there are submarines. Okay, this is the main body and that's the propeller. Okay, so that's the equatorial guy. If you look at the equatorial molecule, the methyl group is pretty much out of anybody's way, right? Here is the cyclohexane, right? Here is the cyclohexane. It could be also like a turtle. You can think, those of you who are animal lovers, you might think it's a turtle. Now the turtle is kind of like sticking its neck out and moving around. Okay, that's that. Once I flip the molecule, you might start noticing there is a problem. What's the problem? Well, the problem is this is axial, and these 2 hydrogens are also axial. So as this group is spinning around, when the hydrogen is pretty close, if you take a look at it from the top view, the axial hydrogen here and the axial hydrogen here, they're pretty close to the methyl group. The distance is significantly less. From the side, you can tell. Pretty darn close, right? So if I ask you after doing this demo of axial methyl versus equatorial methyl, which one you think is low energy? Which one is the happier? Which one is the happier methyl cyclohexane? Equatorial or axial? Speak up, don't give any.
Equatorial?
Equatorial, Harpreet? What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like to play with like little objects. It could be a fan. What do you guys think? Equatorial is better or axial is better?
Equatorial as well.
Equatorial is better, right? Because it has this problem with the two hydrogens in the axial position. Yes, you're right. Equatorial is better. So equatorial molecule This is equatorial. Equatorial, and this is axial. Okay. Definitely this is better. Better and low energy. And this is bad. Axial is bad. Axial is bad, and this interaction with the two axial hydrogens that it's bumping into. So that's a hydrogen on carbon 3, that's a hydrogen on carbon 5. They are both sticking up, and this group is sticking up. So this interaction is called, because the relationship between the carbons in the ring is 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, this interaction is called 1, 3 diaxial interaction. Okay, that's the bad thing. So this interaction between the axial metal and the axial hydrogens, axial metal with axial, actually two axial hydrogens, that's called 1, 3 hyphen diaxial interaction. Okay, and that's really a bad thing. That's a very bad thing, energy-wise. All right, we will practice a couple of things. I make Amelia happy. We'll practice a couple of problems. I'm going to take a snapshot. I'll try to keep my mouth shut for a few seconds. Oops, I pressed something on the computer. No damage done with the model. Okay, I'm going to block the camera again. Sorry. Heard something. No, I'm hearing some things. Okay. I took a picture, so I'm going to erase this guy. This is the homework for naming a little silly molecule. We don't need that. We can do like a very fast, quick review here right now. Okay, so what kind of questions I might ask from this discussion? What the concept that we just covered? Okay, I might ask you this question. I might say, so this is the discussion, right? This is the learning. This is what we have learned. I might say question, I don't know, 1A. Draw isopropyl cyclohexane in 2D. You draw that. Question B, under 1. Okay. Draw both. You know what? Let's make it a smarter question. That will be a pretty unsmart question. Draw the more stable conformation of this molecule of the above molecule in shear form, which means 3D. Okay. I want you guys to kind of like soak it in and make some comments. What do you think should be the answer? And then maybe you can help me draw the molecule. Let's do this one first. Isopropyl cyclohexane. So how do I draw isopropyl cyclohexane? This is 2D. Do not waste your time. I have seen a tendency in you. Okay, I need to have a little pep talk with you guys. I just remembered something. This is very critical for future exam taking. Okay. There is a reason for me to give some instructions at the beginning of the test, and I want you to read that. Do not rush into the question. You know what I'm going to do? I don't have so much free time in my hand that I make the instruction available from 12:30 to 12:40 and then make that real test available from 12:40 onwards. I don't have the time, but please do yourself the favor, read the instructions carefully. Some questions have parts, and you're not supposed to do all the parts, okay? You're supposed to pick 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 2. Remember the test I'm grading right now, not right now, but these days. So if I throw like 3 ions, and if I ask you to draw the Lewis dot the structure of 2 ions out of 3, okay? If you do all 3, great. Number 1, my suggestion, if I ask you to do 2 out of 3, do 2 out of 3. For one reason, you don't want to run out of time at the end. I have told you repeatedly that doing that extra question is not going to earn you any bonus points. So why waste your energy? That's number 1 point. Number 2 point, let's say this is lithium plus, beryllium plus, and ammonium plus. You do all 3 when you could do only 2 that you are really confident about. Let's say you are really confident about lithium plus and beryllium plus, you are really not sure about ammonium plus. You don't know what exactly is going on, but you attempt it anyway. You answered 3. 2 are perfect. Okay, so you should get 6 points or 4 points. You made a terrible mistake with the last one. I am going to take points off. I am making myself very clear. A wrong is a wrong, an error is an error. I didn't ask you to try 3. But if you answer 5 and only 3 are required, and out of 5 you screwed up 2, you will be penalized. Because if you're showing your vulnerability or showing your faults where you went wrong, you should be penalized. So please, I'm not trying to be mean. What I'm trying to tell you is I'm trying to tell you how should you take the test. If I have asked you to do only 1, do only 1. Lewis dot structure of this or this, try the one that you are comfortable with. Don't try try both unless you are really comfortable and you are confident and you have nothing better to do. You have done the whole exam and you have like half an hour left and you are really into answering more questions, do it. But there is a risk. That's one thing I wanted to talk about. And I had to kind of lay it out in front of you and tell you like, what should you not do? Second problem that I'm seeing in 128A and 128B, if your font size is too small, if that's how you have been writing your entire life, change it, make an effort to change it. Don't waste your time doing all the problems. Up your font size. If I cannot read it, next test, next quiz, and the final, I'll have very little patience to like take a magnifying lens and try to figure out like what you have written. Okay, I'm not going to do that. If I can't read it, I'll give you 0. So up your font size and make it more legible. Number 3 point about taking tests. Please don't write stories. I'll share somebody's exam after taking her or his permission, like how minimal it could be. We will do some examples. It was a bigger problem with 128B where people started writing stories about spectroscopy. They filled up the space going backwards and upside down and writing on the side. It's a pain in the neck and writing more doesn't help. So write as little as possible, draw, push arrow, like point out the answer. I'm not going to grade you for your English. I'm going to grade you for the right answer. So try to keep all of that in mind. Okay. Isopropyl cyclohexane. How do I draw the 2D? Help me. Like I'm a kindergartner. What should I do? Draw a cloud, and then a jaw in the body, and it's an alligator. I'm just kidding. Help me. How do I draw isopropyl cyclohexane?
You draw a hexagon
I draw a hexagon.
and then a line with the V on top.
Sounds good. Okay. Draw the more stable conformation of the above molecule in chair form. Let's draw the chair form. I draw a chair. How do I draw a chair? Parallel, 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 join, join. Practice. It takes little practice. Now it's in my muscle memory. Okay, like driving a manual car or swimming. Your muscle knows what to do. Okay, I have two choices. Let's say I'm going to put this guy here. What are my choices? I'm not going to draw the hydrogens. The isopropyl group can be drawn here along the equatorial line, or the isopropyl group can be drawn here. I'm going to erase the line once we figure out where to put it. The green dotted line equatorial or red dotted line axial. Pay attention to that. More stable conformation. Where should I draw the isopropyl group? Green line or red line?
Green line.
Three out of 3 or 4 out of 4. That's it. You could have done this way too. It doesn't matter. And you decide to draw it from here. Draw it from here. What difference does it make? It means that molecule has turned. So what are my choices here? You need to know how to draw a cyclohexane chair deep in your heart. It should be your second nature. In your nightmare, you should be able to draw a cyclohexane chair. My choices are here. Axial, equatorial is parallel to this line. Okay, so I'm not going to draw there. So it's going to be, I could have drawn it here too. Parallel to this line. They're all the same molecule. They're all the same molecule. Here is this molecule. Okay, equatorial. Well, it doesn't look like the right molecule, Dr. Maitra. No need to worry about it. Just tilt it upside down. Make sure that's it. That's your cyclohexane chair. How do I make it look like? Sorry. How do I make it look like that guy? Well, turn it. Well, it doesn't look like the right molecule. Well, turn it upside down. Yeah, it looks like it. That's it. That's this molecule. How do I make it look like that? Well, how about now? It's the same compound. How you look at it. I mean, you can look at it from side. You can look at it from this side. You can turn it upside down. Then this point goes down. If that's what is bothering you, it's drawn at the low point versus the high point. All you have to do is turn the molecule upside down. Then the isopropyl group is attached to the high point. Imagine a crown, and you're decorating the crown with a bunch of other like jewels and stuff. You know, I don't know. There is a little stick out of that crown. So you put the crown this way, then it's the down point. You put the crown upside down, then it's the up point. That's it. So get a good feel about cyclohexane. It's not going to leave you alone until 128B is done. I'm sorry. If you take this course from me, you're going to get a higher dose of cyclohexane. Okay, so that's that. Where are we? I want to cover something else. So that's it. So you can draw it. I mean, if I asked you to draw the bad one, high energy conformer, higher energy conformation, draw the higher energy conformation. Simple. Draw cyclohexane chair. Pick a point. I don't know which point. How about this point? Make it axial. Another question, a follow-up question could be under D. I'm not going to write it down. I don't have the patience to kneel down at this point. If I say that, why is this conformation, why is axial bad? How can you answer that question? If I say, why, I'm just abbreviating, why bad? This is like kindergarten English. If I ask you, explain why this is bad, not that why this is good, you can answer it by writing half a page. That, you know, cyclohexane was born with 6 carbons in a ring, and it's not flat. It has a chair conformation. I'm really boring you guys. And each component can take up an axial or equatorial position. Equatorial position is outside the ring, and it doesn't come in anyone's way, so it doesn't increase energy. But the axial substituent actually bumps into 2 axial hydrogens, and they're too close, and they cause higher energy. Therefore, this axial isopropyl cyclohexane is bad. Okay, that's how many sentences? Probably 10, or maybe in between 6 and 10 sentences, right? About a paragraph that's 1/3 page. Okay, something like that. If you really want to like spit out more than you have, and you believe that more is better here, you're going to write like half a page. Okay, if you could do that. That's one thing. Okay, which answer I prefer? I prefer this answer. You have already drawn it in the above question under C. So all I want you to do is draw those 2 hydrogens. Maybe you can put like circles, and you put some signs, or you just say something like here, 1,3 diaxial interaction. 5 out of 5. All you do is point where the problem is. Don't write a single sentence. Just show me where the problem is. Make sure I understand that you understand. Don't make assumptions. Our son still expects that his mother or his dad knows exactly what's going on in his mind, which we cannot tell sometimes. So he needs to spit it out sometimes. Okay. So if you do that, I'm happy. So full points. You just have to let me know that you understand what's going on here. It's all concept. It's not language test. Okay. I'm going to take a picture, and we have 15 minutes. I'm going to spend the 15 minutes in discussing something. I'm going to take it to the next level. Where is my camera? I mean phone. Okay, right here. I'm going to block the view again. Sorry. I'll let you guys take a look at it for a few seconds. Yeah, this is the email. His name is John Akana. They are confused. I asked them. This is really funny. I asked them about the problem with the book access. Finally, I hear this. No problem, Shantanu. That's what we are here for. That is correct. Unless it's for the 2 students we provided registration codes for, they won't have to pay, but instead will enter these codes. Okay. I know that now there are 3 students. Other students will need to pay or enter their access code if they purchased at the bookstore. Okay. So you have an access code. I'm assuming that the PDF that I uploaded under miscellaneous module, you open that, click on the link, and you should have an access code when you purchase the book from bookstore, and that should work. And somebody else said, okay, my apologies. I think I'm adding extra confusion here. Disregard my previous email. John has further into regarding inclusive search. Okay, try and see if it works. If it doesn't work, you'll hear from me. Hopefully, it will be sorted out by today. This is just ridiculous. I feel bad for you guys. Okay, this is good. Axial is not good. Equatorial is good. There are some exceptions. You don't have to worry about it. Always put it in the equatorial position unless mentioned, unless guided otherwise. Okay. Let's talk about something else. We have time. We can cover a little more about cyclohexane chairs. And this is going to be, making things a little more complex, unfortunately. And this is the perfect time that it's going to start getting us into the mode of or zone of stereochemistry, the lefty and the righty problem. Left hand, right hand, left shoe, right shoe, left ear, left eye, right eye. Okay. They're mirror images, but they're not the same. And this can be applied to molecules as well. And it is a big deal. And I'm looking forward to discussing that hopefully on Tuesday. Start stereochemistry on Tuesday. So we may have to touch upon a couple of quick things on Tuesday from cycloalkane, and then we should be able to wrap it up and quickly move to the stereochemistry discussion. I might discuss a little bit of acid base, but I don't know, maybe stereochemistry first, then acid base. I don't want to talk about acid base because it needs some preceding lectures about resonance, how electrons move around. I'm not ready to discuss that with you at this point. Maybe a little bit later. Almost there. Okay, so life is not fair, unfortunately. Okay. This is going to be your methyl cyclohexane right now. Just one stick. It's not representing a hydrogen. It's a methyl group. Okay, so keep that in mind. Di-substituted cyclohexanes. Okay, di-substituted cyclohexanes. I'm going to write down the name first. You can actually do that too in ChemDraw as well. You can write down a name of a molecule and you can ask ChemDraw to draw it. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to say dimethyl cyclohexane. I'm going to warn you that certain aspects of this discussion, dimethyl cyclohexane, we cannot cover. Even though you ask me that what's cooking there, I cannot tell you until we just start discussing stereochemistry. So this is a nice link between this topic and going to the next topic. That's why I think I changed my mind. We're going to start talking about, you guys sometimes want me to tell you what we will be talking about in the next class. We'll be discussing, after this is done, we're going to discuss stereochemistry. Okay. So dimethyl cyclohexane. So if somebody in the audience at your end is thinking that I'm missing some information, you're absolutely right. Okay. All right. let's get to the point. So I'm not going to take that question. So dimethyl cyclohexane. So how do I go about it? Tell me. 2D. First 2D. Don't worry about 3D. Let's not draw the cyclohexane chair. So I draw a cyclohexane, right? Dimethyl cyclohexane. Where do you want me to put the cyclohexane? The methyl groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you want me to do? Where do you somebody make a suggestion that please put the methyl groups here and here.
On opposite sides, maybe?
Sorry?
On opposite sides, like 1 and 4.
1 and 4. Okay. Let's draw another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anybody else has a suggestion for 1 and something else somewhere else? How about 1 and 3? And then we'll make 1 and 2. Now things will get really complicated. Okay. Let's start with 1, 2. Okay, this is 2D. This is all 2D. And 3D starts here on the other side of the green line. Okay, how do I go about drawing them? Let's start with 1, 2. So this particular molecule will be called 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexane. This molecule will be called 1, 3 dimethyl cyclohexane. This molecule will be called 1, 4 dimethyl cyclohexane. Make sense? Everybody is with me? All right, now let's try to draw this guy. Let's draw cyclohexane. Pay attention. I'm going to make these two hydrogen, these two carbons 1 and 2. Let's make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's draw the most stable 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexane. Most stable 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexane. Help me. Where should I put? So I need to put one methyl group here and another methyl group here. And my choices are that or this and that or this. Equatorial or axial, equatorial or axial. Where should I put the two methyl groups on carbon 1 and carbon 2 so that this is the most stable dimethyl 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexane? Help me.
Equatorial on 1 and axial on 2.
Why axial? I want to hear your logic.
Because if you do it equatorial on 2, it would be too close to the other.
It looks like that.
So?
Okay, don't let that bother you. Just let this bother you. 1, 3 axial interaction. Excuse me. If I put the methyl group here, then there is a problem with 1, 3 diaxial. That costs a lot of energy. That's bad. Okay, so think about that. Let's not worry about the interaction between the two methyl groups. Let's put it in equatorial because you have been taught by your instructor that equatorial is good. I know that you're trying to think ahead, but let's just do this. Okay. So this is equatorial, equatorial. Okay. Now let's leave some space here. And I flip it. Cyclohexane can drive you nuts. If you're not comfortable with this maneuvering, it can completely drive you crazy. So I'm going to flip it. So the up point went down. So I'm going to, so if that point went down, then this is 1. So clockwise, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the up point, that's the down point. That's the beak up, that's the beak down. Okay, how do I draw this molecule now? There was a methyl group on carbon 1 that was equatorial. Now that methyl group on carbon 1 is axial. I'm really showing you like the step-by-step software progression, how to draw these molecules. You guys better pay attention, otherwise you're going to be really lost. This can cost you a lot of points in the future. So carbon number 1, methyl group was equatorial. Whatever was equatorial before flipping, they changed their position. E becomes A becomes E. So this becomes A. That's axial now. What happened to the methyl group on carbon number 2? That also flipped to axial. Okay? Got it? So one form of 1,2-dimethyl cyclohexane is EE, and another form of dimethyl cyclohexane is AA. That's like jibber jabber, the goo goo gaga, kindergartner, like infant kid trying to talk. EE-ah-ah. That's what we do. Okay, we have 2 minutes. I want to spend the 2 minutes in the most judicious way. So we have EE and AA. How about EA and AE? Okay, don't laugh. I know you're not laughing. You're like, oh my God, I have to do this in the next test and next quiz. Okay, let's draw that cyclohexane chair. It's not funny. All right, I'm going to go with catch your name, Stephanie. Stephanie's suggestion. Okay, and what she suggested is this is equatorial, half and half. Let's put the other guy axial. Flip it. Up point goes down, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6. So the guy that was equatorial on carbon 1 is now axial on carbon 1. Okay, that's axial. That flipped. The guy that was axial on carbon 2, now that's equatorial on carbon 2. So your drawing skill of cyclohexane and the axial and equatorial bonds are critical to survive for the rest of the semester. You better practice it. So this guy is now not axial, but equatorial. This is sorry. This guy is axial, it's equatorial right now. Okay, it's not much different. EA and AE. The guy that was axial became equatorial, the guy that was equatorial became axial. So most probably, maybe there is a possibility their energies are same. Same energy. This is bad because it's going to have two diaxial interaction, 1, 3. This is bad because this guy is going to have two diaxial interactions, 1, 3. And the equatorial will be happy. So one axial will suffer, the equatorial will not suffer. This guy, no diaxial, 1, 3 diaxial, 0. This is the best. This one diaxial, another diaxial, third diaxial, fourth diaxial. 4, 1, 3 diaxial. This is bad. So EE is best. AA is terrible. EA and AE are okay. I don't think we have time anymore. We have already passed the 45 limit. So we will discuss it on Tuesday again. Please study. If you want to start messing with 1, 3 and 1, 4, please be our guest. Start messing with those molecules, and it'll provide you with a lot of practice. Okay. Those of you who had purchased the book from the bookstore, the immediate access ebook, go to Canvas Miscellaneous, find that PDF, use your purchase access code, and see if you can get the book. Send me some feedback. Please email me that it's working or it's not working. If it's working, it's going to take out some load off my chest. Okay. Have a good weekend, and I'll post the video and the pictures as soon as I can. I'm going to take a picture of the board right now. All right, I'm going to remove this model from my table. I'm going to switch to the front camera. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. And if you have any questions or anything, you can always email me. We'll go from there. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye, Cassandra.
Have a good weekend.
Bye to Emilio, Harpreet, Edgar, Adriana. Bye, Emilio. Take care.